Hello, Dawn of War 2 fans. Today, I'm going to showcase a little bit of Chaos Sorcerer. Vindicate X, in fact, is going to be showcasing the Chaos Sorcerer, whilst we've got Tenso rocking the Commander knob. And Tenso says in relation to this game, or at least a comment that he put along with the submission of this replay was, he thinks Storm Boys are one of the best units for Orcs. And you know what? I agree. At least in 1v1. And it's funny because you would think the Aspiring Champion Heretics in general are scary enough for Storm Boys to deal with. Never mind when there is the combo of Doom Blast and Doom Balls, or the terrifying coruscating flames are on top of the Heretics to make the life of the Storm Boys even harder. And then that gets made even worse by the fact that Tenso is playing as the Commando knob. So he doesn't actually have a direct way to support those Storm Boys. He can't drop a battery pack heal on them like the Mech Boy can. He can't drop Ard Boys or use your choppers like the War Boss can. So we'll see how it goes. Bit of a sloppy engagement there. I don't like how Tenso threw his Slugger Boys in so early. And I also don't like how he had both of his shooters blobbed up there so that the Doom Blast suppressed them both. Because, man, that's a lot of bleed. Even if he wipes the Heretics here, Heretics are so cheap that it's probably not even worth it. No way, man. He's lost way too many Orc Boys. Way too many Orc Boys there. I mean, 7 Heretics. And 3 of the Slugger Boys. 5 of the Shooter Boys. Yeah, that's way more expensive for the Orcs. And I guess you see it in the XP ratio. Well, not really, actually. Looking at the XP, the Orcs are doing pretty damn well. The Commander Knob in particular has got loads of XP. The Commander Knob always likes to have XP because the extra energy is really helpful. He's a very energy-intensive hero with all of his infiltration and stuff. But yeah, a bit of an upfront scrap there. Now, we see double gens coming down for Vindi, but we're not seeing any upgrades for the Orcs and also no gens. So he's just trying to get Storm Boys as soon as possible, yep. Because Storm Boys are so much cheaper than the other jump units, you can actually get them fastest by building no power. But this is tricky now. Wow, that is so lucky that Vindi got out without losing a CSM there. How did he even do that? Ooh, here comes the Aspiring Champion, and this is where the Heretics get really scary. They're just so hard to force off with that Aspiring Champion. And the thing is, he's actually got a pretty decent bolt pistol as well, so he does some pretty good damage when chasing things down. But Storm Boys come out and they counter-initiate. Chaos Sorcerer is, yeah, in a bit of a scary position there. I think if the Storm Boys actually jump forward and they use the stop command correctly here so they don't dash into combat, they might get the kill. Beautifully done. Storm Boys, not so bad on retreat, you just have to know how to micro them. You can't just air move them on retreat, or that will make them fuck up. So that's a really nice little victory there for Tenso, and he is going to reclaim the mid, which is important because he has been behind, and at no point here has he actually had a chance to capture either of these contested VPs, whereas obviously Vindicare has come over and caught the contested VP here, so it's giving Vindi a nice little VP lead in the early game. But Tenso's going to come back now. Now, has he got any more upgrades? So I see we've got stick bombs on the Commando. If you aim your stick bombs correctly, you can one-shot the Heretics. Not when they've got the Aspiring Champion. But even then, you can still kill 8 of the ticks and put on a lot of bleed and get a lot of XP. So, here we go. Spike's coming down now. That's going to kill maybe 3 Heretics. Killed 3 Heretics. 4 Heretics even. And then there was a Doom Blast. So that's alright, that's something. Commander Knob's nearly level 3. Holy shit. But Noise Marines are out. However, the Noise Marines don't really have anything to bash because Tenso has still not built a single generator. Now he's building generators in front of the Noise Marines. That is very, very strange. I don't know why he just did that. just fed a load of XP. I guess he, you know, he wanted the gens to come down without having to wait for the power node to be rebuilt. He wants that power income sooner, and he knew his Storm Boys could initiate onto the Noise Marines. But that was risky, that there wasn't some heretics waiting from behind. God, Noise Marines are so loud, who would have guessed it? You know, this game has really been carnage so far. I do like this map. I think it does set you up for a lot of really chaotic engagements in the mid. Nice little setup there though from the Tenso, having his shooters flanking from this angle, getting a really good firing line, while most of Vindi's army was tied up in melee. Commander Nob got some good contributions there, landed some other stick bombs that seemed to do quite well, so Chaos Space Marine went down, so did a Noise Marine. And honestly, Tenso didn't really lose that much. So even though Vindi had the early engagement wins, he's not been able to drop his third generator yet. And man, he got that second generator super early. Big shooters now coming out onto the shooter boys. One gen still missing for Tenso as well. No one at this point has had the opportunity to come down to this part of the map and actually start capping them, which tells you just how frantic these fights have been. Noise Marine's coming out of base with 2 out of 3 models, probably intentional. Most of the Noise Marine's effectiveness obviously is in that Sonic Blaster, so you only need 1 model in theory, but obviously with Noise Marines being somewhat fragile, certainly to melee, and with Storm Boys on the field as well, you don't want to be running around with 1 model. The other problem of course is that he can't see the hide the boys here, which is a little bit scary, but without the Slugger Knob, not really going to be quite strong enough to take out the Noise Marines there. The problem that Vindi has right now is his heretics are off capping the sidelines, and he's not really going to have a strong enough force to defend his power farm here, so he's doing the classic error where you go tier 2 and you lose all your gens in the process of it, so then you get tier 2 and you're kind of stuck. But at least with Chaos it's not too big of a deal, because you can always go for Bloodletters and Plague Marines, which are pretty good generalist choices, especially if you get them both together. You know, the Bloodletters can counter-initiate melee under Worship really well, and then they counter setup teams with a teleport, whilst the Plague Marines are just good tanky units, and obviously they're dedicated anti-vehicle. And both of them don't really cost a lot of power. Somehow he managed to deter that bash there, only losing 1 generator, so that's actually pretty good for him. He's going to get a really nice lead in tech here, so hopefully he realises that he's ahead in tech and can capitalise with a Blood Crusher, use the Blood Crusher to zone out the Orc army and then get your full gen bash from the Noise Marines. Nice stick bomb throw here, Vindi does react in time, mostly. Going to drop the Cacophony, disrupt the Storm Boys and then probably retreat. Yeah. But the whole time these heretics have been pretty annoying capping on the sidelines. The thing is, with the Aspiring Champion heretics, you really can't defeat them with just 1 squad as the Orcs. Not in tier 1. You need multiple. But there's a lot of pressure from Tenso. Tenso actually went double Storm Boys. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I would assume it's not, because there's not really anything that would make you really want more Storm Boys. You know, that if there was a Havoc or even some Raptors, then I'd get it. But I would like to think that Tenso expects the Blood Crusher, which is coming out pretty damn soon. He does manage to get another generator, which is cool. He's also bleeding these Noise Marines pretty dramatically down. Yeah, only loses a Storm Boy for a Noise Marine, which is well worth it. 58 requisition and 5 power for a Noise Marine, so expensive. Heretics attempted a gem bash there, didn't manage to finish it. Storm Boys coming out and forcing them off. And the Tenso's getting complete control of the map right now, so where are the Noise Marines? Oh, they're idling. Come on, Vindi. Needs to get his Noise Marines out onto the map really quickly. Blood Crusher, you know, going to be running around here, forcing off the Storm Boys, and then it should just protect the Noise Marines. Honestly, I would consider moving my Chaos Sorcerer up to the gem farm now and using the Warp Global just to get the Noise Marines there as soon as possible. Keep the Blood Crusher around so the Noise Marines aren't as easily tied up in melee. And yeah, you should be alright. Another attempted stick bomb there, you see the infiltrated commando, but obviously the heretics aspiring champion can detect. Now if he didn't have that aspiring champion, the commander could in theory get super close to them, drop the stick bombs down. You've only got a second to react or your entire heretic squad will get blown up. So it is really powerful if they don't go for the aspiring champion. But I think the aspiring champion is so effective in this matchup, I'd pretty much always be getting it anyway. Alright, well Vindi for some reason is base raping with the Blood Crusher. I don't like this play. Okay, he does move the Noise Marines up. He's obviously trying to delay for as long as possible with his Blood Crusher, but all the Tenso needs to do is move one of the Storm Boys down and jump onto the Noise Marines. Vindi has actually idled the Noise Marines as well. Finally they're attacking the Gen Farm, but it's kind of too late. The Blood Crusher doesn't actually get melee resist, so all the power melee coming in from the Storm Boys has actually got it pretty damn low. Now we see some tank busters coming out as well, which, honestly, with the Storm Boys getting their Storm Boy knob as well, both of them, you've got two sources of decent heavy melee damage, and then you've got the tank busters. This Blood Crusher's going to die pretty quickly. But it's okay, because it forces a response, right? Especially if he can manage to get a Gem Bash here off the Blood Crusher's presence, that would be well worth it. Because now Tenso needs a lot of power to get all of his non-leader upgrades. Stick bombs coming in. They do stop the Noise Marines for a few moments. Tank Busters now getting some decent damage onto those Blood Crushers. Don't know why I said plural, it's only one Blood Crusher. Yeah, Blood Crusher was scared, rightly so with the Tank Busters there. So that just means that there's nothing to really counter-initiate the Noise Marines. And that is why Vindi is now getting the Blood Letters, so they're going to be his counter-initiation tool. Keep them around under worship, and they will do pretty damn decent against the Storm Boys. That's why you need upgraded shooters though to support your Storm Boys. They can ideally focus fire the Heretics and get rid of them very quickly. Throw some of your stick bombs with your commander knob on the Heretics as well. Then once they're forced off, the Bloodletters die pretty quickly to the shooters, as long as they're not getting that HP regen from the worship. Oh, Vindi didn't actually get a chance to replace any of his gens. That is not ideal for him. Because now he's losing his node, his power income's going to be basically gone. Yeah, Chains of Torment would be pretty good. I mean, honestly, any upgrades for the Chaos Sorcerer right now would be pretty damn handy. Rod of Warpfire would do a load of damage when these orcs block up. Chains of Torment, just great for controlling the Storm Boys. I would definitely get Chains of Torment right now. You're fighting double jump units. Chains of Torment, one of the best things about it is it actually stops jump units from being able to jump, which is just crazy. It's really nice against ASM because they get their second jump so quickly because it only takes 55 energy for ASM. So they'll jump into combat, expect to have another jump to get out, and then you drop chains and they can't jump out. They have to retreat out, and obviously they retreat, they take extra melee damage, your Bloodletters can actually start inflicting some bleed, which normally you can't do against the ASM. Alright, so the pressure continues from Vindi's end. He's going to drop down a nice Shrine of Tzeentch behind the shot blocker here. The Shrine of Tzeentch will buff the damage resistance of nearby buff the damage resistance of nearby Tzeentch troops, but it also shoots out those Doom Bolts, which can go over the line of sight blocker, so let's see what kind of damage that impacts here. Yeah, it's putting in a decent little bit of damage actually on the Busters. I don't think it does friendly fire as well, so that's not too bad. Blood Crusher charges in, it's going to tie up the Tank Busters before they do get a little bit of a volley off. Stormboy's getting really, really low, and we actually see a Demonic Summoning. Okay, this is huge. Stormboys might even wipe here. Doesn't look like there's that much into retreat. He should just charge through them with the Blood Crusher, charge through them to get the extra damage. Oh, if Vindi did a charge there, that could have very well been a dead Stormboy squad. The endless spawning of the Bloodletters, plus the reinforce that you get on the Heretics when that spawn's active, really proving quite impactful here. Not sure if the Tank Busters are going to be able to get the final hit on this Blood Crusher. Ooh, they actually take it out with a barrage. Very nicely done. I didn't even see them doing that either because we're looking from this perspective. We couldn't even see. Jeez. Alright, well he takes out the Blood Crusher. So Vindi's looking a little bit thin right now, but on the other hand, to be honest, Tenso's took a lot of bleed there as well. Let's have a look at the levels. Yeah, pretty good. Oh my god, this commander knob level 5 already. Level 3 shooters. It's only level 3 CSM. In terms of the units on Vindi's side. Yeah, Corn Marines could actually be a nice little shout here. Because there's just such a spam of melee troops. And yeah, 100% Vindi needs Chains of Torment. Yeah, he's getting it at last. Robes of Torment, which gives him the ability to Chains of Torment. That is going to control these Stormboys so much. You know, the thing is, it's not like it directly debuffs the Stormboys in melee, but it does effectively make them way worse at melee because they can't use their number advantage when you use the Chains of Torment on them. Just think about it. It pins their models in place, so then all your Bloodletters can jump on the front models, and the rear models don't get to fight back. So their effective DPS is really shit, and by the time it wears off and you get a proper melee scrap, Stormboys already will have lost a couple of models. So it's an amazing upgrade. Now, the counterplay is that you can actually shoot the Robes of Torment, and especially things like Tank Busters, they're going to destroy it really quickly. That's where you need to rely on the Noise Marines to shut them down. I would consider upgrading to the Blastmaster. It's a little bit dubious with Stormboys on the field, but man, just the Blastmaster's still worth it, I think. Oh god. Point blank stick bombs again. Need a bit of worship here. Yeah, heal up the Bloodletters. They took loads of damage from that stick bomb. But you can see the power of the Bloodletters there. They really do scrap quite well with the Stormboys, and then they just get healed up from the worship.
Your forces obey you.
Where's the other Heretic squad? They're both here capping. So, Tenso manages to wipe out the entire gen farm there. Bit of a dodgy position for these Noise Marines. They really need to retreat out. What is he doing? He's taking ages. Oh, there were no Stormboys in here though. Where are the other Stormboys? Oh, they're back at base. That's unfortunate. Man, they nearly wiped the Noise Marines anyway, even though they had no melee in retreat. Shooter Boys aren't that bad in melee, especially with their Knob. The Knob himself does pretty good damage. Oh, here we go. Oh, a bit of a delayed jump, unfortunately. Yeah, delayed jump. Could have been a wipe on the Aspiring Champion Heretics there. That'd have been huge. The map control is very important right now. Alright, Bloodletters under Worship plus the Chains of Torment from the Sorcerer. This could be a bit dodgy. Don't think he really wants this fight. Now both shooters are fully upgraded at this point. I think that's wise. He needs them to try and control, well, basically all of these units here. You can do some good damage at range just poking them with your shooters. Looks like Vindi wasn't watching down here. Just tried to put his Eternal War CSM in the green cover where they would easily beat the Shooter Boys, but he got stick bombed by the Commander Knob. The result is very, very battered Chaos Space Marines, who are now going to be healing in base for quite some time. Tenso not really braving the push down here. I mean, he can't stick around for long, but it is only melee units, so he can kite them pretty easily. But I guess he doesn't know what else is here in the worship. There are going to be Plague Marines soon, obviously threaten that war truck. There's actually no repair support at the moment. Yes, there is. We have some Gretchins, repair crew Gretchins. Very nice. So they're going to be repairing that war truck. Since at some point Tenso did actually lose the sluggers. I don't know when that happened. Probably happened on screen, I've just totally forgot. You know, as much as Tenso's rating the Stormboys, I feel like they're getting themselves into a lot of dodgy situations here where they're not really achieving a whole lot before having to retreat. I mean, they are mobile, and they're definitely tanky. I mean, look at, they did take a lot of damage there, and they basically lost no models. Well, they did lose no models, so... Nice stick bombs, beautifully done. Man, oh, we've got the shotgun as well. I don't think he's got the energy. Not sure how much energy it is. Is it 35? Not sure. Alright. I would like to see these heretics go decap the point because the VP pressure is getting a little bit annoying right now. Really good for Vindi that the Nice Marines are getting back on the farm. If nothing else, it's going to give him more red, which he needs for demonic summonings. Wow, he's actually using the demonic summoning here. Okay, well, I don't actually think this engagement's very good for Vindi because all the Orc units are reinforcing off the War Truck, which he isn't actually threatening right now because the Plague Marines are tied up in melee. And yeah, this is a problem. The Gretchens are actually tying up the frigging Plague Marines, I think. Oh my goodness. Focus fire the Gross. He needs to focus fire the Gross. They're so vulnerable. Look at their HP, man. They've only got, is it 75? It's not even that. 450 HP on these fuckers. Over 6 models. That's nothing. And they're upgraded with the repair crew. They're so vulnerable. Don't know how Vindi did not manage to kill them. I don't like the demonic summoning choice here. Oh my god, the Plague Marines are going down as well. Is this the end of the match? How the hell is Vindi going to come back from this? This is over, surely. Surely this is over. Storm Boys in retreat. They'll get one Plague Marine, but then the explosion is going to knock over the rest. Oh my god, they even managed to kill the other one. Yeah, that's it. This is done. There's no way. And now there's a Death Dread coming out. Not to mention, holy shit, Tenso has a lot of red. Wow. Finally, we see the Corn Marines. Too little, too late, I'm afraid. He needed them ages ago. Yeah, that's going to be the game. Really vital engagement there. Now, obviously, I know the resources that the players had, so look at the resources that Tenso had. He's just got 65 power spent, and he still has 161 left. So, this whole engagement right here, Vindi committed all of his resources to trying to get rid of this gen farm. But why? What's the point? Tenso had more than enough power. He could have easily had enough power for anything else he wanted just off of his power point here and here without actually having any gens. So this gem bash is okay because it gives you red and it gives you XP, and the red can be used for demonic summonings in vital engagements over the VPs elsewhere, or for Dark Flames to get retreat wipes. But to then use your demonic summoning here? Nah man, that's a terrible engagement. Vindi should have known better. He should have known that that wasn't important. He didn't need to go for the gem farm there. What he needed to do was secure the power points and get more power himself so that he can start fielding some more elite troops and just win on VPs. But he committed to the fight and unfortunately it didn't work out for him. I really like the Grot play. I think the Gretchens ran into melee to tie up the Plague Marines, which was very heroic of them. You don't hear that happening with Gretchens very often, and the reason is because they're so fucking easy to kill. 450 HP, they should have been the priority target, even if, you know, they're obviously not a high combat threat, but they only take seconds to kill, and they were upgraded. They were the only thing that was repairing the War Truck. Anyway, Vindi completely flopped that engagement. It was just a shit show. All of the Storm Boys were reinforcing off the War Truck. It was just a disaster. So there you have it. That was the game. A little bit of a quick one for you guys today, but that is all I've got. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Torpid out.